Okay, welcome, Diane. We're actually just getting started. We wanted to give people a little extra time to join, so I've started the recording. But I am Jessica with Nami Greater Houston, and this is Denice Martin. She's going to be our presenter today. So I will let you get started. For whoever may be new, so Denice is going to do her presentation, and then we're going to do a question and answer after the session. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about NAMI programs and services and the events that we have coming up.
All right. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here and share with you guys what I've put together. Before I get started, I just want to take note of what I put in the chat. The first one is just a link to a book that I'll explain a little bit more about later. And then I just put my email, but I'll also give some more contact information in case anybody wants to just keep the conversation going after today. So I put together a presentation. I'm going to share my screen. So hopefully this works. Are you guys all able to see my PowerPoint? Okay, good. All right. So the name of this presentation is Adapting to the Time. So where we are right now is, like, to me, the craziest thing that I've ever experienced. I'm not that old, but this is crazy, and I don't think that we've ever been here before. Hopefully we never come here again, right? But we still have to adapt, and I know a lot of people are working from home and homeschooling. So maybe you're used to working from home, or sometimes you work from home a couple days a week, but you're used to your kids being in school. You're not used to juggling, you know, the stress of your work and the stress of their work, keeping the household together and everything that's going on. So hopefully my intention is to kind of open everybody's minds to different ways to make this time together more enjoyable, kind of de-stress and kind of figure out what's going on. So everybody's unique family structure is different. So some things will work for some people and other things won't work for others, and that's okay. Just everybody is here to figure it out. And I also want to remind you guys that before you ever even sent your kids to school, you were their first teacher, and you will always be your child's first teacher, right? So that's what this mug is a reminder of, and let's begin this adventure. So first thing I want to talk about is having a routine and what that looks like for everybody else. And I want to encourage everybody to explore that routine, right? So you might have a strict schedule of everybody gets out the house by 8 a.m. so that everybody can get to school by a certain time and you get to work at a certain time. But now that it's home, everybody's kind of waking up every day and it just kind of feels mundane. Every day feels the same. Maybe everybody's feeling different on different days, and that's okay. Just incorporate some fun into that. Maybe that looks like if you have to start work by 9 a.m., maybe it's easier for you to have everybody to start their schoolwork at the same time as you. So you start schoolwork at the same time as you start your work. You eat lunch around the same time. You make some time for recess. You break for breaks. Maybe that works in certain households. And maybe somebody else, it will work better to just be more flexible and be more lenient and letting your kids wake up on time. In putting together this whole presentation, I spoke to a couple of my colleagues from back home. I'm from Jersey, new to Houston, and I spoke to some of my coworkers that work in the school system, and some of them said that it's easier to just let kids wake up naturally, right? So you're not forcing them to get up early in the morning, having to be up at a certain time. They're cranky, they're not ready to eat breakfast, they want to eat breakfast later. Just kind of just let your kids also have a say in what makes it easier for them. And in that, be compassionate and have patience with them. We as adults can wrap our minds around better about what's going on, even though it's kind of chaotic for us as well. With kids, it's no telling the kind of thoughts and questions that they have going through their head. So just kind of exercise patience and have compassion with them at this time. Allow them to have a say in what works for them. If doing math is easier for them in the morning, let them do math. Don't push them to do reading first, you know? So, and if it's easier for you to help them in the afternoon with their harder subjects, maybe let them push off their harder subjects to the afternoon so that they can do that then. So kind of just have that dialogue between you and your child, you and your children, and just figure out what works for everybody, and don't just dictate what should go on, but allow them to also give you back input. I know that in my experience with working with kids in different capacities, at first I went in thinking I'm the teacher, I'm the adult, I'm gonna let them know what's going on and it's just gonna be that. But the more that I was able to step back and just kind of listen to what the kids were saying, how they felt and what was going on, I've realized that they were able to teach me way more than I was able to teach them at times. So just give your kids that voice and give them that space to be able to convey to you what they need most, right? And also just being consistent in that. From Monday to Friday, your days may look different, but as long as you consistently keep trying, your kids will want to do the same too, and just have fun with it. And what I mean by have fun, I know that in school, when I was working in the school district for over 4 years, we had something that was called Spirit Week. So maybe it's hard for your kids to get up on Monday, right? And they're like, oh, they don't want to get out of bed, but maybe you could make Monday pajama day, and that'll be exciting for them. They don't have to get up and put on jeans or get dressed and go into a regular routine to make it feel like they're normal. Maybe pajama day makes them excited. Maybe by Wednesday it's wacky hair day, right? So they have one ponytail up in the air and the rest of their hair out. Whatever it is that keeps them going and motivated throughout the day, I would say do that. Maybe you have to prepare lunch for everybody. Give your child a job. Maybe they're old enough to cut up the vegetables. Maybe they're old enough to wash off the fruit for the snack at snack time. Allow everybody to be involved and have a say and just have that fun. Also, I want to stress the importance of communication being key, right? So I say keep your children informed of any changes as they are happening. So if you know that you have a Zoom meeting on Wednesday or you have a conference call on Thursday at a certain time, let your kids know beforehand that you need that hour or half an hour or however long that call is going to take as a quiet hour. You know so that they know what's going on ahead of time, so that they can be quiet, so that you can have the peace and quiet that you need to attain to be attentive to your work, excuse me. So ahead of time so that they know what's going on. Also, I would say, I know that it's hard. I've spoken to many people, from people who are working at home to teachers, and it's hard for some kids to be able to work virtually. This is completely new. I know that in schools, everybody's learning to use iPads and MacBooks and things like that, but it's completely a new element to be doing everything virtually online on the computer, right? So there might be assignments where it is your child is having a hard time meeting certain deadlines. Talk to the teacher about it. Let them know, hey, this deadline is not enough time for my child to get that work done. Can we have an extension? Teachers are more than glad to help out. If they don't know what's going on, they cannot help out. If they don't hear anything from you, they think that everything is fine. Don't struggle by yourself. Allow that teacher to still be the teacher. Allow that teacher to still step in and be able to support everyone at this time. As I was talking to some of my coworkers, that was one of the main things that they said to convey to parents, is to talk to the teacher, let them know what's going on, so that they can show you compassion, so that they can continue to give you support through this time, because we are all in this together. I will also encourage parents to talk to your supervisor as well. If you are having a hard time, if things are changing constantly in your house and you need to move your schedule around, talk to your supervisor about it. Let them know what's going on in your household. Ask if you have extensions on projects, or if you could switch your hours because of school and your work is hectic, because this is a crazy time. I'm sure that they'll be able to work with you as well. I also encourage for parents and teachers to keep in touch with your loved ones and friends. Check in with everybody. We are all doing this together. There is no rule book. We've never been here before. Hopefully, again, we never come back to this space, right? Everybody needs help and everybody needs support. And there's no one person doing this all the right way. But as you talk to more people are able to give you different insights. They're able to give you different tips and tricks, and you're able to incorporate that into their home. I know it's hard for kids who are missing their friends at school. Maybe you could set up virtual dates and Zooms and play meetings and FaceTimes for kids to be able to talk, to one another during this time. I think that is important too, just keeping the communication open, allowing allowing your child to be able to talk to you and convey how they are feeling. I know with all of this, there are times where we cannot go outside, or you can't go as many places as you would like. I know that things are opening up each and every day more and more. But I would say during this time, listen to your body and give it what it needs. So if your mind is telling you that you need a break, you see your child is stressed out, they've been sitting in front of the computer for so long, allow them time to walk away from that computer, maybe go out on the balcony, maybe stand out on the front porch, maybe go for a walk, so that way when they come back to their work, they could come back refreshed. They could come back with a new mindset and be able to finish up what's going on. I say make intentional time for yourself, whether that is Saturday morning or Sunday afternoon, where you just have a cup of tea or you just go and kind of decompress to get ready for the week. It is important that we all take care of ourselves the best that we can, so that we can keep going forward in the work that we are doing, so that we can continue to give our families and our loved ones the support that they need during this time, especially children. Encourage them to make intentional time for themselves as well. I also highly recommend incentives and reward charts. So if your child is having a hard time completing work, or you're having a hard time getting your child out of bed to want to do work during the day or complete their work, I love reward charts. I've always used reward charts when working with kids. They love to see a piece of paper that has their name on it, that has a goal, that they're able to either put smiley faces on or put stickers on. And I know that in working with kids, when I've given reward charts and I go back to see them, they were so excited to show me how many more stickers they've got since last time I've seen them, right? Or they were just so excited to tell me, I made my goal, and because I made my goal, my mom let me get my favorite dessert on Friday, or I was able to stay up a half hour later. Use those to your advantage. Maybe you create a reward store where your kids are able to earn money, and then you go to the store and you buy them something special as their special treat, right? So I highly recommend that. And when they do well, give them praises. If they earn their stickers or their stars or whatever it is that you have them earning, don't take it away from them. They earn that. But if you do need to do some redirection, then just let them know, hey, you can't, I don't like your behavior and we need to work on it. So today you're not going to earn anything, but tomorrow we can work towards a better tomorrow, right? So that keeps kids hopeful. It keeps them going. It encourages them to keep going and wanting to do their best, and they'll be excited to do their best. Allow them to hang it on the refrigerator or on the wall in the room, somewhere where they can see it, somewhere where everybody can see it, and they continue to look forward to it. Again, allow them that space to be able to talk to you about what they would like to earn. Make it reasonable for the both of you. Address the behaviors that you would like to change, how much more work maybe they need to do in order to earn the rewards, just to keep it positive, keep it going, keep it light and enjoyable in the house. I know that this is a very, very stressful time for everybody, and this will be able to be helpful. Also, I want to point out, in doing work from home, I know that some people are working at their kitchen tables. Some people might be fortunate enough to have their own offices. I think it's very important also for your child to have their own space, whether it's half of the kitchen table, you're on one half with your computer, your child is on the other half with their computer. Maybe they have a corner in their room where they're able to do their work. They just need something that is theirs. Maybe they decorate and they have a little name tag on it or put stickers on it. Something that makes them feel like they have ownership of something is very important. And going back to when you know that you have a Zoom meeting or a conference meeting scheduled and you need your child to be quiet, maybe you make signs and you put it up outside of your office that says, I can't talk right now because I'm in a meeting. And then your child knows that they need to be quiet. They'll walk past the room. They'll come back to you later. Maybe you have a sign up that has a smiley face because your child is 5 or 6 years old. They're not able to read yet, right? But that smiley face to them means, okay, I can enter, I can talk to mom or I can talk to dad, they're ready to talk to me. You put a stop sign up. Everybody knows a stop sign means stop, do not enter, right? You explain to your child, right now, that means that I'm on a call or I'm doing something where I can't talk right now. Even if you're sharing a kitchen table, you could put a sign on the back of your computer and that child knows, okay, I'm busy doing email or I'm busy doing something on my computer where I can't talk, or a smiley face means I can talk to mom or dad now, and vice versa. That child can also have stickers outside of their room where mom knows that they're able to enter and they're not so busy doing their work. So I think Also, some visuals will be helpful for the both of you. I also continue to reiterate that this is a crazy time and who knows when we'll be here. And I know that it could probably get a little bit frustrating to be with each other all the time, but who knows what this is going to look like later once everything opens back up and we're back to our busy schedules. Everybody might be pulled back into different directions with extracurricular activities and overtime and going to the office. I would say just thoroughly enjoy this time you have with each other. Make it light, make it fun, cook together, stop from your work unexpectedly and maybe just have a 5-minute brain buster game or a puzzle or do something fun and interactive, and then everybody comes back together in this work. It could be fun, it could be interactive. As I was talking to my coworkers and putting this together, something that was said across the board, and these are teachers, third grade teachers, kindergarten teachers, all in elementary school, that were stressing health and safety comes first no matter what. So encourage your child to do their best work. And of course, encourage your child to get their work done, but always make sure that health and safety comes first. Do not jeopardize the stress of, do not stress yourself out just to complete an assignment if your child can't do it. That's okay. Talk to your teacher, talk to your supervisor about what's going on. Make sure that you come first so that you can continue to do what you have to do. And I will also stress the importance of staying informed without becoming obsessed. It's easy to turn on the TV. It's easy to go on social media. It's easy to just even walk in the store and overhear everything that's going on right now and bring all of that stress home. And then, being snappy or whatever with yourself and at the kids. I would say stay informed, keep it age appropriate with the children as well about what's going on, and don't become overly obsessed as well about what's going on. And just keep it at an as neutral as you can during this time, because that will be able to allow the kids to do their best work too, when it's as less stressful as possible, and yourself, less fires to put out. Here, I know that I mentioned before that in the comment section, I posted a link. It's the first one that I posted, which is to a book that says that the title of the book is Something Strange Happened in My City, right? So this is a book that is geared towards parents reading to their children who are between 3 and 8 years old, so early elementary school. And so if you're having conversations with your child about what's going on in the world with the pandemic, maybe you haven't had in-depth conversation, this is a really, really good book to be able to keep that conversation going. Maybe help your child formulate some questions to ask about what is going on, how you can answer these questions. So that's the first link. I've talked about reward charts. So the second, rewardchartsforkids.com, is an amazing website where you could have free printables. So they have things from Bob the Builder to princesses and different cartoons on reward charts. There's reward charts for behaviors, to gain incentives, and all types of things. That is an awesome website to be able to download free principles, sit down with your child and have them look at what's best, because it is theirs. They are going to want to own that. So go on that website and browse that with them. I love YouTube. I'm sure everybody loves YouTube. This will be helpful in learning a new skill while you guys are all at home. Maybe during recess one day, your makeshift recess at home, you guys jump into a new fitness routine, you do yoga, you do meditation sessions, something to keep the house calm and relaxing. Highly recommend that. I know that, a lot of people, plans have been canceled as far as vacations and things like that go. That's what I love Pinterest for. You could do like vision boards and DIY crafts if you need your child to be quiet while you are doing a conference call or anything like that. The DIY crafts on Pinterest are just amazing, and they're easy, that you could set your child up to do when they're done with their work early, and recipes to new recipes to try when you are cooking together during the day. That is the gist of my presentation. I would like to have open conversation with the people who are on, and just ask some of the things that you guys are doing that you find helpful, and what areas that you kind of need help in right now. I know that everybody's situation is different. Everybody is in a unique situation, but there may be some things that you're doing that can help somebody else here on this chat. I do not have all the answers. I just hope to be a guide and kind of get everybody's mind open to different possibilities, right? And hopefully there's something that you could share, and maybe there's a question or something that you need help with that somebody else here can be able to help you with, right? So I would like to get the dialogue started, and hopefully somebody has some questions or things that they would like to chime in with. I'm gonna unmute you.
And you're on mute. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can.
Oh, okay. I wanted to ask, who's the author of that book? You said Something Happened in My City.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell
Who's
you
the author?
right now.
Is it an online book at all? We have to order that, like.
Nope, it's an online book. It's completely free. So when you click the link will send you right to the book. So if you copy and paste it into your browser, or I don't know if in the comment section, you should be able to click it right from there. But if you,
I'm not too good with Zoom. Where is the comment section?
Okay, so if you move your mouse on your screen at the bottom, you should see where it says chat.
I see chat.
Okay, click chat. And does a box pop up?
Let me see. Well, yeah, okay, chat.
Mm-hmm.
What does the box look like? It's something for me to write in?
Yeah, it should be on your right-hand side in the white.
Okay, I see it now.
Mm-hmm. Do you see the blue link at the top that starts with HTTP?
Oh, okay.
Yep. So if you just click
that's what you inserted from it.
Yes.
At the top. Okay. Zoom group. Okay, but I can't get a cursor. I see your name. It says click on your name.
No, if you go, do you see the blue link where it says HTTP?
No, I see Denice Martin.
I'll email it to you.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the comments. I wanted that book. I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a good conversation to have. And they actually kind of color code who's talking, like the parent versus the child. So it's definitely an interactive book as well, where you guys can kind of read it together.
Yeah, I'm a reading interventionist. And so I've been sitting, I do phonics and spelling patterns. I work with struggling readers. So I do the basics.
Oh, okay.
So when I communicate with my parents, I give them some other things too, as far as the social-emotional, things. I tell them where the food bank is. I tell them where to get tested. I tell them other things going on in the community. So I would like to send them that.
Yes, absolutely. Yay, that's exciting. Yeah, I think it's a really, really good book to help parents just be able to have that conversation. I know that sometimes as parents, they feel obligated to have all the right answers, and this book just really encourages that, I don't really know everything, but we can figure it out together. So I definitely believe that's a good book to have for
Well,
parents.
thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And what was that first, you had a little inspirational message at the beginning. What did that say, the inspirational message?
Oh, okay, I'll go back to it. I'll show you.
What was that?
This was the first slide.
The first one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the first one you had up there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was nice. On an adventure.
Yeah.
So
this is definitely a new
we
adventure.
Are having an adventure.
Yeah. This is definitely a new adventure that we are all on. But together we can make it work, right? Together we can make it better. Definitely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cherise typed a comment. She says, I have found creating community has been beneficial. I talk with parents of teens and tweens about social media safety. Being at-home moms have to create community to share best practices at home. That's
Absolutely.
very, very true. I don't think I would have made it this far with my little ones without that community.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely join Facebook groups, Instagram, all of that stuff to kind of just see what everybody is doing because we are all literally figuring this all out together. Nobody has I don't think there's a right or wrong. You just have your own unique family situation. So you're just doing what's best for you, right? And we're all just figuring out together. So when you have conversations with other people who are in similar shoes as you, then it helps when you're talking to teachers and you're talking to staff that work in schools who are talking to, just create that community, keep the conversation going. I think it's important to keep that conversation going and support one another to make this time lighter.
And I think that also works for educators because, like you said, I mean, this is definitely new territory. So, kind of like you and I were discussing earlier, like the first 2 weeks of this whole homeschooling and working from home thing were the worst. And a large part of that was because the teachers didn't even know what to do. They weren't all on the same page. So it took about 2 weeks until, you know, the district got organized enough to communicate with the teachers and for them to communicate with each other and then communicate with us.
Right.
So I think we should definitely, you know, use each other for resources and support and advice as much as possible.
Absolutely. Because
And that also goes for things that are related to the situation, but maybe not a direct part. For instance, mental health. So, you know, we're a mental health organization. Reach out to organizations like NAMI, reach out to organizations if you have an autistic child, you know, somebody, an organization that's proficient with autism support or physically disabled or whatever the case is. Definitely we should be reaching out to organizations who help in those areas.
Absolutely. Everybody is going to need support no matter what, whether you're homeschooling or not, whether you're working from home or not. This is new territory for everyone. And who knows, when the next school year rolls back around, there might be some parents who like homeschooling better. They might not feel safe bringing their kids back into the general population.
Will not be this parent, but I can definitely, I'm sure it will be somebody. But mine have to go.
They're going back.
This homeschooling stuff is not for me.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy being a teacher. It's not easy doing all of those things, but there are people who are out there to do it, and that's why it's important to connect with those who will be able to support and give that help.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for sharing, Denice. I'm going to segue into talking a little bit about NAMI. So as I mentioned before, NAMI Greater Houston, we are a mental health advocacy and support organization. So we're here to help in situations like that. If you are teaching your child from home and you're struggling or they're struggling with the anxiety that can come with all of these changes, definitely reach out to NAMI or like-minded organizations for assistance. NAMI Greater Houston offers free support groups and educational classes. We offer those for 2 different groups. So one, we have the group of people who are living with mental illnesses themselves. And then we also have the group of caregivers and their support system, their family, their friends who love them. So we offer free support groups for both of those networks. We also offer educational classes that can help with lived experience or that can help you support or care for your friend or loved one. We have school-based programs that, of course, have we've had to adjust because there are no physical schools right now. But we do have school-based programs that can assist with parent-teacher communication, that can assist with, you know, teacher-student communication, parent-student communication. We have jail diversion programs and so many other programs that are relevant to the community. So definitely go to our website, check us out. I'll stick it in the chat box, www.greaterhouston.org. And we've recently received a grant from the Big Good Foundation to help with COVID in communities of color. So communities of color have been disproportionately affected by this illness, and we want to help. So thankfully, we've received a few additional funds to do that. So we'll be reaching out to communities and going into these communities to support people where they're needed. And we also have a resource center, which has been expanded through this COVID-19 situation, meaning if you call our office during normal business hours, there's going to be somebody that you can talk to, a live person that you can talk to. And we don't offer direct services such as therapy, but we are a resource center. So we can tell you where to get the help that you need. We can refer you to therapists in your network. We can refer you to psychiatric hospitals. We can refer you to housing and so forth and so on. So that's one way that NAMI has definitely stepped up to the community in this time of need.
Can you send me that number, Jessica?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Send me the link. Is that like a hotline, or that's just y'all's office?
Both. So there is a separate number that takes those calls, but if you dial the main number, you can get there as well.
But the main number gives you all, you can go run down the resources that are provided. The main
Say that
number
again?
gives the resources.
Yeah, the C Center has its own direct line, and that's what it's called, the C Center, SEA.
Is it open all day, 24 hours?
No, not 24 hours. Unfortunately, we're not able to have somebody there, but we can help you during 9 to 5 business hours.
9 to 5, and then the hotline would kick in. The hotline is 24 hours.
Yes, so we don't have a direct hotline ourselves, but we do work in conjunction with the Harris Center, and they do have a 24-hour hotline to help with crisis situations.
Okay, you work with the Harris Center. Oh, that's right. Well, you're on the same building. Okay.
We are on the 12th floor. So I also want to talk a little bit about our fundraising event coming up. It's called our NAMI Walk. And usually the NAMI Walks is an awesome, huge event in downtown Houston where the community comes together and they celebrate mental health, they advocate, create awareness. And we still want to be able to do those things. We're just not able to meet together. So what we've done is change the event to a virtual event. NAMI Walks Your Way, which basically means whatever your way is goes. So you want to hula hoop, jump rope, walk a 5K in your neighborhood. It's all fun. So it's a team building exercise. It's a community building and advocacy event. So we're really looking forward to the NAMI Walks. It's going to be May 30th. And you'll be able to access a live stream through our NAMI Walks website, which I will put in the chat box now. It's also a fundraiser. So we encourage people to help raise money for NAMI Greater Houston. All of the money goes directly to NAMI Greater Houston to help continue the programs and services that I was mentioning earlier. All of NAMI Greater Houston's programs and services are free to the consumer. And we want to leave it that way so that we're able to get to the communities who need it most. So there's a link into the box. So check out the website. I'd love it if you guys would build a team, reach out to your friends, your family, and come up with some creative fundraising ideas and creative community building ideas for that day.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the closer, well, however we're going to start school, do you think like in July and August, you'll have more related to school and children and parents, things like that?
I hope so. I think, this is kind of the end of the school year. And I think people like myself, we've kind of finally gotten into a groove. So as we get closer to the beginning of the school year, because we still don't even know what that's going to look like. Some of the colleges and universities have already said that they don't expect to have their physical campuses open yet in the fall. So we don't know what that's going to look like. So I'm sure that people are going to be confused. People are going to need help working their way through that. So I'm sure we'll have more engagement from parents and teachers.
When I talk to my parents, they're very overwhelmed. They're very overwhelmed. Do you all have any type of contract with HISD? Because I asked Angelina that.
We do. We are we're in several HISD schools. So
individually.
Individually. So we don't have contracts with, right. they're not with the districts, they're with individual schools that ask us to come in. So basically, a lot of these school systems are getting contracts to help with, not contracts, but they're getting money from the district offices to help with mental health programs. A lot of that money goes into anti-bullying programs, but as people are learning more and more about mental health, they're reaching out to organizations like NAMI to help kind of bridge that gap and communicate with parents and teachers and students regarding mental health. So a lot of our signature programs, like in our own voice presentations where people tell their own stories, or family to family and family and friends, we have similar programs that are geared towards the school age population or their parents, like our NAMI Basics, which is very similar to a mental health 101, except it's geared towards parents of school age children.
Okay.
We're actually in, I want to say 7 school districts across the Tri-County area.
It's going to be needed.
Definitely going to be needed.
It's going to be needed. And my concern is the struggling students. Some students are able to do the distance learning quite well. They're apt. They can handle it. Some students are very good at project-based learning, and their parents have helped them. But the ones I'm worried about, the ones that are struggling, they were already behind before this happened. And while during this, they're going to get further behind. And oftentimes the parents aren't able to help them. And that creates a further gap. You know, the frustration for the parent and even the frustration for the child. And I see the gap growing.
It'll be interesting to see what they come up with for summer school, because I know there are going to be a lot of kids who are going to need to go to summer school.
Yeah, they're going to need to go. Right, you said it. And especially the ones with special needs.
Okay, I guess I am done with my little chat part. Denice, did you have anything else that you wanted to leave us with?
No, I just want to wish everybody good luck on finding their rhythm. Just be patient. Have compassion with those around you. Have compassion with yourself as you figure out what's going on. Everything is constantly changing. Like you said, we don't know what this is going to look like by summer school. We don't know what it's going to look like even further with the next school year. Just continue to take your time, figuring out your routine, continue to make everything as fun and as light as possible, because it is continuing to be a crazy time. So just try to make it as enjoyable as possible. Allow your kids to have that voice, to be able to voice to you their concerns or what they feel will help them, and you do the same with them. Just keep an open dialogue and continue to seek out support. Hopefully this opens the doors for more conversations and more solutions, and just more people coming together and creating that community that everybody needs, no matter what. So, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation, Denice. For those of you in the meeting or those who come after to watch the recording, Denice did include her email address in the group chat if anyone has any questions for her regarding her presentation or any of the books that she referenced, or would like to book her for future speaking engagements. Okay. And I am also always available for help. So all of my information is on our website. If anybody has any questions about NAMI Greater Houston, about the walk, or any of our events, please reach out to me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
And we'll see you again next time.
Enjoy your day.
Bye-bye.
Yes, bye.